Hey, so you want to eat healthy, right? And you want to have a great salad, but you don't know what kind of dressing to have because you don't know whether it's healthy or not. Stay away from the store. Make your own. I make my own breads, my own sodas, and my own salad dressings, my own pastas. I make as much as I can at home. And so now I'm going to show you how I make my traditional base dressing sauce, and I'm going to show you how I season it. And yes, I am going to be seasoning it with some cannabis. I'm going to put a little light sprinkle of marijuana in there, and that's really going to add to the earthiness flavor of our sauce. So this dressing will be composed of a basic olive oil base, and we're going to be putting all sorts of herbs and nice little spices in there to give it a nice kick. So without further ado, let's go ahead in my kitchen and let's make ourselves our homemade dressing. Alright gang, we are in my kitchen. We're going to make a really cool cold prep recipe, and this is my vinaigrette base dressing, which you can use just about anything with any time, anywhere. Follow the directions I add, because when I go over these ingredients, very important to follow the order in which I make this dressing base. Once you make the base, and I'll tell you where we are when we get to the base. Once we get to the base part, then you can add whatever you like. Shallots, garlic, herb, whatever you want. But we're going to go through the ingredients real quickly. Here we go. First of all, I've got a teaspoon of raw honey. I've got a teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. I have a teaspoon of kosher salt. I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I have a half a teaspoon of ground pepper. I have a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and of course my wonderful, gorgeous cannabis. I'm going to take this marijuana, and if you have a grinder or if you have a food processor, a small one, just go ahead and take a bud, grind that up. That'll be more than enough to get you started on your dressing. And for those of you who would like to have a garden, dressing that's going to add some high points to your salad, you could go ahead and add a couple of these buds if you like. But for the most part, that's what we're going to be adding today. And we're going to go ahead and get this prepared in a stainless steel bowl just like this. If you don't have this, that's fine. I just like using stainless steel bowls because it's easier for me to show the viewers how the dressing starts its assembly. Okay, so let's get started, and let's start with adding the mustard and the honey. Okay, here we have our mixing bowl. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and just put the mustard in there. Here we go. Get that all in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the honey. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add the honey next. And if you want it sweeter, certainly add more honey. But I like it to be a moderate sweet, so I'm just going to mix the mustard and the honey together. And as you can see this, it's starting to become, yes, my little buffalo wing fans, it's honey mustard. So I've shown you 2 recipes in one. Nah, but that's how you make honey mustard. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to add just a little bit of oil at a time, okay? So you just saw what I did, and I'm going to show you what it's going to look like if you do it properly. If it doesn't look like this, then you're not doing it properly. Again, continually, slowly adding the oil together. And what it's going to start looking like, folks, is it's going to start looking like it's almost a paste. And you can see it's already starting to become a paste in the bowl, but I'll give you a close-up of it so you can see it. If you add the oil too quickly, the oil will just float on the top, and then you'll have to start over. So just make sure that you follow my directions on this, okay? So there it is. And like I said before, it's almost like a paste. See that? Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and very slowly add the balsamic vinegar, okay? So watch again. Same thing, except this time we're going to add it a lot slower. We're going to wait till all that vinegar is mixed in, and then we're going to add a little more. Again, doing the same thing. And you'll notice that that paste will start to thin out. And you don't want it to thin out too much that you start to see the vinegar start little spots of vinegar on the top of the dressing, because that means the dressing's starting to break, and you don't want that. right now we have a really good base for the balsamic, and there it is. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you start with a base dressing. Now, if you didn't want to use balsamic vinegar, you could have used red wine vinegar. You could have used malt vinegar, white wine vinegar, cider vinegar. Any one of those vinegars would have changed the flavor profile of this base dressing. So once you got past the honey, the mustard, and the oil, you now have the base to make a vinaigrette of pretty much whatever you want, but the vinegar has to be next. Now I'm going to give you a nice close-up. See that? Beautiful. Not too pasty, but thin enough that it can go on a salad. Now it's time to add our ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and add the pepper, the salt, and of course my cannabis. Awesome. Gonna mix all that in there. And oh, that smells so good. And now what we have is a salad dressing ready for a salad. Okay, so let's just say that you have an empty bowl like this. And I would always suggest that if you're going to make salads, you get a bowl like this, because you're going to see why. I've put the dressing in a ramekin, you put it in a smaller bowl, whatever you like. But I'm going to show you a real good trick that the restaurants use to make a really good salad. See, take a teaspoon of the dressing and just do what's called bathe the bowl. And you drop your salad fixing. So if it's spinach, romaine, mesclun mix, whatever it is that you're using to make your salad, you drop it in the middle and then you toss the salad in the bowl. So realistically, as you're tossing it, this dressing is really just covering the whole salad, and it's being pulled from the side of the bowl, so you're really getting pretty much an incredible coverage of salad dressing with a fraction of the amount that you use. Most Americans, we will take our dressings and we'll just go like this, or we'll pour the dressing over the salad. And that's great, but not only does that destroy the integrity of the salad, but you don't get the same flavor in every bite. When you make a dressing as nice as this one, and you want to make sure people can taste the flavor and the freshness of it, this tossing the salad in a bathe bowl, there's no other way. So I'm Chef Cutting, and I'm telling you, this is the way to eat your balsamic dressing. And without any further ado, please make sure that you have a wonderful time making this dressing as much as you will eating it. This is my seasoned balsamic dressing with cannabis. Enjoy.